So hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Amesey's Corner. How are you doing out there? So, I'm here at the shop on a Sunday bright and early because we've got to get this 96 done. And what's really left, we got the rockers fixed, we got the floors all fixed, but the big old trunk pan is just a big old hole. Ain't nobody home there. So yeah, you guys remember a few weeks ago we went to the Brandy Brow Auto Parts, the junkyard out there, and tried to find a good piece of pickup truck bed. And surprise, surprise, up here in the rusty New England, there were no pickup truck beds that had a big enough piece that wasn't rusted out or damaged or just too hard to work with. So that was a bust that day. But I'm back here in, we call this Death Row. This is where we put all the vehicles that are that have their three wheels in the junkyard that are just waiting to get picked up and getting rid of. You know, some not very classic cars here. But that brings me to the topic of this Jeep. Now this Jeep was, a customer had gotten his son their first vehicle, which was a black Jeep Liberty of whatever year this one is, doesn't really matter. And we had a bunch of problems figuring the cooling system out, plugged up radiator and some other issues with it. But I figured the truck out, the kid's Jeep out. He drove it out of here, and the next day pulled out in front of somebody and pretty much ripped the front end of his just figured out first car. And well, it was pretty much totaled, but they didn't want to go through the insurance company. So what they did is they bought this Jeep here, which looks like somebody got in over their head doing a head job on it. And yeah, half a motor in there. But the good part about it was the whole front end, every piece we needed to put his back together was right there. So that was about 3 months ago. We took that one out of the cabbage. And you know, this one here, well, why are we looking at a piece of junk old Jeep for something to do with the 96? Well, I'm gonna apologize right now. I try to keep the spam on my channel to a minimum, but I'm gonna apologize for any spam we might see. Damn you, spam. I apologize for that. But what we have here is a beautiful piece of roof that would make a great floor for the 96. It has a little bit of a curve to it, or however you would, you know, it's not a perfectly flat piece, but I don't think the piece on the 96 was either. It had a little bit of a curve to it too. But yeah, the piece I need is about 38 by 32, and I've already gone ahead and roughly marked out probably 4 inches more in each direction than I need. But we're gonna cut right up here, which is gonna give me the nice, you know, some of you guys was asking how I was gonna make the corrugations in a piece be flat to weld up. Well, I'm gonna use the way it kind of blends there, and maybe I'll probably just flat weld each one of those or something. We'll figure it out. But first off, we got to pop the top on this Jeep. Now there's going to be some structure in here which I'm going to have to deal with. There's always something. I might have some spot welds to take out, so I don't know if this panel is going to be the perfect piece, but I'll tell you what, it's going to be a ton of fun. I got some nice long Sawzall blades, my battery powered, well, DeWalt reciprocating saw, you know. So let me get set up and let's tear the top off of an in the cabbage Jeep. I'm gonna climb up here. Hey guys. Okay, so battery powered reciprocating saw. Now we got to get in, so I got my trusty drill here. I'm using a uni-bit. I really like these uni-bits for metal, you know, fabricating work and stuff. Not very expensive, cheaper than buying a whole drill set, and reasonably effective. So you guys can see what we're doing. Can't go back now, Bob. There we go. That's our hole. That's our way in. All right. Let's it's loud. Cuts quick though. All right. Wish the hole was just a little bigger. If the neighbors are awake. Oh, they are now. Whew. That was loud and vibrate-y. Ooh. Nice. Look at the carnage in there, huh? Now we got a couple of braces. It doesn't look like there's a lot of structure. Alright guys, let me get it off my forehead and let's take a look. Alright. There we have it. A Saab 96 trunk floor. Okay guys, we got her up on the lift. 96, we can get under it now. And I know we've seen it before, but let's take another quick look at what we're dealing with here. Let me change the light situation. My trusty painted over filament light so it doesn't over white balance everything. But yeah, here is the hole we have to fix up. Now, I got a little bit of patchwork to do here. I got to bring this down. I can't raise this trunk up like the Sonnet back there. We raised the trunk up so I could fit a custom exhaust under it, which I've yet to figure out and build. But yeah, I can't raise this floor up because the fuel tank sits right here. This hole right here is actually where the filler neck comes in, and you're able to put fuel into it, and it sits flat. There was a piece here that went across I had to cut out. But yeah, I got a little bit of patch in here before I can put this panel in. This has to be extended down to this. As we can see, it's all Swiss cheese. A little bit over here too, but I think I can fix this with the panel we cut out of the Jeep there. Speaking of the panel, here it is right here, and not a lot in the way of structure on it. It does have two of these braces. This here would be the back. This is why I had a little hard time cutting that last area, and here's the one in the front. Now the good thing is these are glued with this foam insulating glue. Helps so you don't have any rattles or squeaks. You get a little bit of flex on it. And I was kind of anticipating things being spot welded. I had to fix spot welds and take care of that, but no. All I had to do was I took my trusty Dexter Russell knife. Boy, if this knife could talk. I sliced so many so many sidewalls. I shouldn't say car. I didn't slice a single car sidewall with these. This is just a regular Dexter Russell filleting knife. It's really big in the seafood industry. Commercial knife would have been a lot longer. What I did is I sharpened it to a point and put some serrations in it. Back when early 2000s, if anybody remembers the Firestone, the Ford Firestone tire recall, the Explorers were blowing the tires and rolling over and killing people. So they issued one of the largest recalls in history, and a whole lot of Firestone tires had to be taken out of service. And at first they wanted us to drill a hole in the sidewall and cut out the DOT numbers, but that was really hard to do. So towards the middle and end of it, they just said slice a 5-inch gash in the sidewall and write the make a rubbing. You had to put a piece of paper down and make a rubbing of the numbers. But this is the knife I used to destroy every one of those Firestone tires. But yeah, anyways, I just kind of stuck it under and cut. I already did this one, and then I peeled back, and just a little bit of work I got to do. Peel this off, scrape this off with a putty knife. I mean, it'll come right off, and awesome. No real hard work to get the structure out. And we'll give that to the scrap guy. So I'm going to clean this panel up a bit. I'm going to get all this stuff off of here and prep this a little bit. I'm going to take some measurements and make a rough cut and figure out what we're going to patch this with. So let me clean this panel up. Let me get some of the rust removed out of here, and we'll go from there, guys. Fun day. In case any of you guys are wondering, the plasma cutter had a loose connection inside of it. That's why I had trouble over last winter trying to cut those spacer blocks. Well, okay guys, we got that piece cut. I've got it fitted in place, and I must say it looks pretty good. I really like how those pleats really match what's already there, what was there before. And underneath, there we have it. I haven't welded it in yet. It took me a lot longer to get this trim to fit and then actually put in place. It was kind of a bear to get in without warping it or bending the crap out of it. But yeah, I gotta cut a couple of pieces for filling in the Swiss cheese holes on the side. But all in all, I don't anticipate much of a problem. I'm probably gonna make a header panel here, or a panel that will go from the trunk, maybe a 1/4 inch or a 1/2 inch into the trunk, the new piece, and then wrap around out to here to cover this and tie those two together. I'll probably do something similar all the way around it, but like I said, this panel took a lot longer to trim and cut and fit than I anticipated. So that's about as far as I think we're gonna get on it today. But yeah, that's a big question mark taken right off of my list right there. That's a big piece right there. It's probably one of the biggest single patch panels I've ever made for one of these cars. The Sonnet trunk was, you know, maybe 2/3 the size of that, but I didn't, like I said, I didn't want to use a piece of flat metal because it would oil can and ping and pong and warp and dent and twist easily. This was I think this is a good solution, and you can't beat the price. Just a little bit of hard work. Well, all right guys, anyways, I got to clean up my bay. I got to put everything away. That's one part about using the shop. I can't just leave everything set up because I got to come in here first thing tomorrow morning and start swinging wrenches and hammers around and making the big bucks to keep these lights on, so I can enjoy the shop the one day a week it's closed and get my own projects done, which is a great thing about working here. Dave lets me do this sort of stuff, but it kind of works out in his favor in the end, because everything I learn doing on these cars, I can use that same stuff on a customer's car. So if you guys have an old 96 you want welded up, I know how to do it. So anyways guys, if you want to contribute to the project, YouTube is not paying enough to really keep the keep the thing spinning fast enough, or as fast as I'd like. If you want to contribute to the project, my PayPal account, I'll link it down in the description. You guys can help out. Everything's much appreciated. If you don't want to help out, thanks for watching anyways, and enjoy the show. Well, anyways, on that note, I gotta get, like I said, I gotta get cleaned up. I gotta get on with a little bit of relaxing today. Like I said, I gotta come here tomorrow morning to work. I don't want it to feel like a day of work on my day off doing my own projects. That's gonna kill the buzz real quick. But anyways, guys, on that note, and until next time, keep it out of the cabbage.